Greetings to all of humanity. It's really a joy, it's a pleasure, it's an honor to be out here in nature, bringing this message of emancipation to you, a message that would set you free, pointing you to look inwardly to discover your true identity to be your divinity. Thus the reason why, my brothers and my sisters, I always point you to look inwardly, encouraging you not to let anyone tell you, lo here or lo there, for the kingdom of God is within you. Therefore, I always point you to look within yourself and encourage you to believe in yourself. So if you do not believe in yourself, no one else would be able to believe in you. So you have to believe in yourself first. That's the reason why I'm laying a foundation before I go into my teaching. Now, you might be new to my channel and you might want to know what is the basis of my teaching. Now, the basis of my teaching is that the Bible addresses the human mind and must be interpreted psychologically. Now, the Bible is not literal, neither is it secular history, for it was written symbolically. Therefore, when you understand it psychologically, you come to realize it's your own biography. That's the reason why I want to speak to you concerning Jacob. And he called the place Peniel. So I'm going to read from the scripture concerning where Jacob fought with the angel until the break of day, where he declared that he would have seen God face to face, and where he had to change a name also and show you it's all about your life. It's your biography. But for you to understand it, you have to realize that the Bible is a whole psychological drama. The entire Bible is a psychological drama. It all addresses the human psyche. And that whatever you're reading in the Bible, it is not secular history. For the Bible have no reference to anyone who existed thousands of years ago or to any actual event that took place upon earth. It's all teaching you how to discover your true identity. So now I'm going to read from Genesis 32, chapter 32, and I'm going to take it from verses 24, okay? And I might read right down to verses 30. If I feel like go on, if there's any more after that, let me make sure and see. Yeah, okay. I might read right down to 32. Okay. So from 24 to 32. Yeah, it says here that, and Jacob was left alone, and there wrestled a man with him until the breaking of the day. So it is showing you here concerning this life that it is a dream. And at some point in time in this life, you also, in a dream, you would realize that you are all alone, because when you go to bed to lie, to sleep, you're all alone. And one of these days you're going to discover that this life is all a dream. But it's showing you some of the things that you would experience so that you will come to realize it's all a dream and that the Bible is your own biography. Okay? Now, the breaking of day is basically speaking of the dawning of a new day in your life. It is the changing of your mentality. Because as we know, out of the darkness comes the light. So, when you've been enlightened, or you've been awakened, and you come to discover your God self, it is always the breaking of a new day for you. Okay? And when he saw that he prevailed not against him, this is the visible man fighting with the invisible man in this dream of life. So you will find yourself struggling in this life with situations, circumstances, but man is not the creatures of circumstances. Circumstances, they are the creatures of men. Therefore, you create them, because your thought is what is creating your reality. That's the reason why, if you go back to the base of my teaching, I teach you that the Bible addresses the human mind and must be interpreted psychologically. Okay, so he said, and when he saw that he prevailed not against him, he touched the hollow of his thigh, and the hollow of Jacob's thigh was out of joint as he wrestled with him. As I would have said before, the outer man and the inner man are always wrestling against each other, the conscious and the subconscious. Because we are here in this earth, and because of what was taught to us as little children, certain things have already been registered in our subconscious mind. And so we tend to operate more on the ego side of life, or to operate more on the left brain side, or the left brain atmosphere of this existence. But only until we get on the right brain atmosphere of this existence, we'll come to discover our higher self. So here we see, it is teaching you that when you determine and you're using your mental faculties and you're holding to will, you believe so much in your inner man that you're going to hold on to your inner man, and you're never going to let go of your inner man until that inner man bless you, because you understand that it is your thoughts that is creating your reality. Now, in Songs of Solomon chapter 3 tells you the same thing, that when you search for him who you love, which is teaching you of that which you desire, your gift, your talent, your calling, your purpose, you must hold to it and never let it go, because you've been searching all your life for this truth. He said, and you mustn't let it go until you bring him into your mother's bedchamber, into the one that conceived you. Do you know, as above, so below? There's a womb below and there's a womb above. There's a psychological womb above and there's a physical womb down below. There's a birth from down below, a physical birth, and there's a birth from above also. So let me go on. And he said, let me go, for the day breaketh. It's like you was kept in the dark. You was kept in this dream. And you realize that there's a countdown. And you so much want to discover your true identity. You so much want to know who you are, that you are willing to hold on to what you believe so much until you reach a certain point that you either find yourself or die. That's the point you have to come to. And then he said, I will not let thee go except thou bless me. This is you so much want to get your blessing. This is you so much want to come into your identity. This is you so much want to know who you are. You try everything. You try religion. You try fame. You try popularity. You try all of these things. You try academic education. You try materialism. Yet you feel empty. Yet you feel like something is still lacking in your life. But in a dream, you hold to this angel. And what is an angel? An angel is a messenger And what bring message to you and from me, it's your thought. So he's speaking of the thing you so much desire. He speak about the experience you so desire in your life that will bring clarity to you. So you can come into your true purpose, into your true calling, to know exactly who you are, why you're here, because you were born in amnesia, a state of forgetfulness. When you were 6 months old, you didn't know that you exist. When you was a year old, you still didn't even know you existed in this world. So we all are here seeking to discover our true identity. So here he's saying, I will not let thee go, except thou bless me. My brother and my sisters, prosperity, abundance, it's your birthright. The blessing is yours. You are the one who's supposed to inherit the blessing. The 1,000 cattle on the hill belongs to you. For above all things, I wish that you prosper and be in good health as your soul prospers. So my brother and my sister, you have to embrace prosperity. You have to embrace all the blessings that have been put here for you to enjoy. But you have to seek to know your true identity first. That's the reason why you're told to seek ye first the kingdom of God is right, and all these things will be added unto you. Which is saying, seek to discover your true self first. Seek to discover your true identity first. And he said unto him, what is thy name? You see, identity. Name speaks of identity. Who are you then? Who are you? Why you are here? Where you come from? Where you're going? What is your purpose here on earth? So he said, and he said unto him, what is thy name? That inner man, the immortal man, the invisible man, is asking each and every one of us to declare our identity, to declare our name, to declare who we are, so we'll be able to get the blessing. Because if we do not declare who we are, we'll never be able to get the blessing. And he said unto him, I just reading over again, and he said unto him, what is thy name? And he said, Jacob. And Jacob means supplanter. It's like saying, you are a deceiver. It is you declaring yourself as the ego self, as the self of what your parents name you. It is you still dwelling in the old traditions and the things that were taught to you from your parents, from your teachers, your politicians, and everything that the system has to offer to you. That's the name and the identity that you hold to. But the true being in you want to give you a new name, a new identity, a new way of thinking, a different mindset. You want to rearrange your mind. That's the reason why you're told, do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. You have to renew your mind. There must be a transformation. There must be a change of name, a change of identity. And how can you do that? You have to change your belief system. That's the reason why I tell you, and I'll tell you over and over again, that the Bible is not literal, neither is it secular history, for it addresses the human mind and must be interpreted psychologically. So you believe that your name is Jacob. You believe that you are the supplanter. You believe that you are the deceiver. Deceiving your own self. Telling yourself a lie. Living in self-doubt. Living in limitation. Believing all of the wrong things. But there's one in you that want to bless you. Because the blessing is yours. It's your birthright. Okay, let me go on. And he said, thy name shall be called no more Jacob, but Israel. For as a prince hast thou power with God and with men, and has prevailed. It is only when you have that change of name and a change of identity, because you hold on to your inner man, your inner teacher, your intuition. When you hold, because you hold to the invisible being that is within you, the invisible power that is within you, the creative power that is within you, because you believe in yourself, your higher self, because you believe that God is your own human imagination, the creator in man. You'll be able to receive a change of identity, a change of name. But you have to wrestle. You have to wrestle, knowing that you're a prince and that you have power with God and with men, and you have to prevail. You have to prevail over all the things that were given to you by men that want to keep you in the humanistic realm. And you have to overcome, knowing that you are God in flesh, knowing that you are the chosen one, knowing that you are the only begotten Son, for you were chosen out of millions and millions of sperm. So you have to come to that place of self-realization. And Jacob asked him and said, tell me, I pray thee, thy name. And he said, wherefore is it that thou dost ask after my name? And he blessed him there. Don't you know his name is your name? For the name of God is I am. From generation to generation, it's a memorial. That's Exodus chapter 3. My brother, my sisters, when you realize your true identity and you know your true name is the name of God, and it's I am that I am, which means I am whatever I believe myself to be. For as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. And you realize that it's your thoughts that's creating your reality, then the first thing you're going to receive is a new name. And now your name will be called Israel. And Israel means to rule as God. That's what Israel means. Most people refer to Israel as a geographical place in the Middle East. But Israel means to rule as God. And for you to know that you are a child of Israel is to know the power that is within you, the creative power that is within you, the power that can create all things. And not believe in a power that is in the sky. Because most people believe in a God that is in the sky more than believe that in the God that is within themselves. So let me go on here. So he said, and he blessed him. Who blessed him? The only one that can bless you is your own human imagination, which is the creator in man. So until you realize that God is within you and that the kingdom of God is within you, and that is your own human imagination, you wouldn't understand why St. John 1 and 3 says that all things was made by him, and without him wasn't anything made that was made. Teaching you everything that was made was first imagined, and everything else that ever going to be made must first be imagined. The camera that I'm looking to right now was first imagined. The cell phone was first imagined. The automobile was first imagined. The aeroplane was first imagined. Because if there's one creator, there have to be only one creative power, and the only creative power there is in this world is the power of imagining. Therefore, when you believe in a God in the sky, or believe in a God outside of yourself, or believe there's a man 2,000 years ago with special powers, and he died on a literal cross for you, and you do not understand that your body is the cross on which you would die, you're actually giving away your power. And you ending up in idolatry and bring yourself into limitation. So my brother, my sisters, it is your birthright to get the blessing and to walk in the blessing. So yes, let me read on here. Okay, let me just go back to verses 29. And Jacob asked him and said, tell me, I pray thee, thy name. And he said, wherefore is it that thou dost ask after my name? And he blessed him there. He blessed him at that certain place of understanding, that certain place of self-revelation, that certain place of self-knowledge. And Jacob called the name of the place Peniel. And that's the name, that's the main thing that I really want to get to. Where he named the place Pineal. It is speaking about the pineal gland. It is only when your pineal gland being open that you would understand the message I am bringing to you. When I tell you from video to video, I keep saying that it is the single eye message of self-realization, of which Matthew 6:22 tells you, if your eye be single, your whole body will be full of light. You will fully understand what he's talking about here. Because it's teaching you what it means to see God face to face. It is when that eye will open in you, and I'm speaking from experience. It is when you will hear the unearthly wind and you will ascend as a fiery being. And you will burst your tongue chakra and you will have the new birth. And you will become invisible. That's the only time that you're qualified to teach others of the invisible. Because you have to become invisible to teach of the invisible. That's when you have been sent. That's when you know you have come to your Christ self. And after you have come to your Christ self, because you have experienced the virgin birth, at a certain time, a certain season, all of humanity gonna come to you as a little child and call you Father. That's when you know that you are the Father, and that you are the Father of David, and David represents humanity. Even the Queen in England, even the Pope in the Vatican, they too gonna come as a little child. Because all of humanity comes as a little child and call you Father. That's when you know that you are God, the Father. And your brothers and your sisters, they're going to say that you are crazy when you declare that I am God, the Father. For it's only the Father can reveal the Son, and only the Son can reveal the Father. That's the reason why when I ask many people who Jesus Christ, and they tell me Jesus Christ is the Son of God, I ask them, are you the Father? Then they get angry. Because they have never had any experience. They have never had any mystical experience. Because they fail to realize that this book is not a secular, it's not secular history. It is not literal. It is mystical. And I didn't make myself a mystic. So let me just go on. So he called the place Pineal. So he's teaching you the secret of the pineal gland. And that's the greatest cover-up in this world. The truth about the pineal gland. Because when you discover the truth about the pineal gland for yourself and you have the experience, you'll realize that the virgin birth they teach you about is not the truth. And millions of people today, if not billions around the world, celebrating Christmas. Even here where I'm sitting, this sacred place our ancestors would have hold dearly. They have all these lights here. And messing with nature, the birds, everything they're gonna make even the birds more uncomfortable with all of these lights, saying they're celebrating the birth of Jesus Christ. Which is not the truth. Because that's not the true birth. The real virgin birth can take place with a man or a woman. But that's another subject for another time, because right now, presently as I speak to you, I'm actually writing a book on that called The Secret Vagina. I encourage you to get that book when I upload that book and get it published. I encourage you to get it. Okay, let me go on. So Jacob called the place Peniel, for I have seen, he said, for I have seen God face to face. And my life is preserved. You see God face to face and you live to tell the tale. You conquer death, hell and the grave. You can tell the rest of humanity that death is not real. For we just a spirit having a human experience. And death is just an expansion of life. It's all an illusion, it's all a dream. That's when you wake from the dream of life. Because you have seen God face to face. You have seen your true self. You have behold your true self. Your true I amness. You know who you are. You know your true identity. And you know your true identity to be your divinity. And as he passed over Peniel, the sun rose upon him. You see how this thing come back to what I normally do every time I finish my video showing you Malachi, what Malachi 4:2 tells you, that the Son of Righteousness shall arise in you with healing in his wings. And because I would have had the experience, and I always teach you also Psalms 84:11, where he said the Lord thy God is a S-U-N and a shield. And there's so many people who believe that Jesus Christ is the light of the world. Even not too far where I'm living, there's a church has the sign say that Jesus Christ is the light of the world. When the sun was here before, and there could be no life without the sun. So they cover up the truth of the sun is in us. That's the very light that is in us. That's the very life that is in us. That's the reason why the sun is what powers all of humanity. Without the sun, if the sun doesn't rise, all of humanity gonna die in about 18 hours. So the sun is the giver of all life. And what they're celebrating as Christmas have to do with actually the sun, as in the S-U-N. There's no S-O-N that could be called the light of the world, because every S-O-N that ever born can only born because they have to first be a S-U-N. Basic common sense. And as he passed over Peniel, as I would read there, Peniel, the sun rose upon him, and he halted upon his thigh. It is teaching you that when you have this whole experience, let me just finish off this here and then write to it on it. Therefore the children of Israel ate not of the sinew which shank, which is upon the hollow of the thigh, unto this day, because he touched the hollow of Jacob's thigh in the sinew that shank. My brother and my sister, when you come to realize that the Bible is also phallic, and the word phallic spelled P-H-A-L-L-I-C, and have to do with the sexual organs, you'll understand what it is speaking about and teaching you. Just like in the physical, there's a physical sexual act to bring this birth. When you have the new birth, it's a spiritual sexual act. And when your desire is fulfilled, there's a shrinkage in the hollow part of your thigh, in the soft part of the thigh. That's what it is teaching you. And my brother, my sister, for you to create anything in this world, it has to first be what? A thought. And that desire is a spiritual sensation. And for you to have the manifestation, you have to have a spiritual impregnation. And realize every creation is a spiritual sexual act. So in everything we do, it is teaching us about the physical birth and the spiritual birth. It is teaching you of the old identity and the new identity. It is teaching you that you will have a change of name, a change of identity. It's teaching you all of these things. It is teaching of the new birth. And even after I bring this to you, this would be something that would be in my book also. Because all over the Bible, I didn't even have this chapter. I'm now doing this video. Intuitively, my spirit saying, okay, you have to make sure, put this in your book also. Because I was basing more on St. John chapter 3 and all those other scriptures and the resurrection and all this, and showing you this whole thing. You understand? Showing you this whole mystery. Now I have even more food here to put and to elaborate more on this. You know, I want to thank you all very much for listening to me, and this video has been a very long video because I want to take my time and I break down, and I really want to come to the place that I can really teach, you know, like for an hour, 2 hours and so on, and really break down the scriptures and bring it psychologically to the people. But I have to put certain things in place, and when I put certain things in place, you know, then I'll be able to do these things. That's the reason why I always encourage you. And if you're a person who haven't been supporting this channel and Patreon, I will encourage you to support it, and Patreon also, okay, because we all have to work together. But let me just end here by saying that if what I'm saying, if it resonates with you, I'm encouraging you to subscribe, to like, to comment, to share this message with someone, and to always remember that this message I bring to you is the single eye. The single eye message of self-realization, of which Matthew 6:22 teaches you that if your eye be single, your whole body will be full of light. And I'm saying to you, my brother and my sister, when you have the experience, you will understand why I always put my hand on my crown chakra. I'm saying to you that when you have the experience, you come to realize that it is the rising of the S-U-N in a S-O-N. And that it is the dawning of a new day in your life. For the sun parallels the human imagination, and the human imagination parallels the sun. For without the sun, there is no life and there is no light. And without the human imagination, there isn't anything made that was made. Therefore, my brother and my sisters, my encouragement to you is to use your mind power, which is your solar power, to achieve your every desire. So with that being said, I want to say peace, love you all, I'm out.